So that dodgy sprayer was swapped with this one, so now I've got a control handle. I've also got a hand wash tank. Boom, looks as it should do. It's got some water in it up to about there, so we're dry underneath, so we're just going to run it up and try it. So at least we're spraying. Now to do a jug test and calibrate it. So on this tractor, when the sprayer's been in the lower position to fill, the PTO doesn't really mesh because it's too short really. So I'm going to have to scratch my head on what to do about that, whether to get a longer one or whether just to make sure that it never goes down to that low level. Because obviously you've got to get it to mesh together before you start to lift it, otherwise it'll go and snag. It's just starting to snag now. So we've got blue nozzles in, and I want to try and go as fast as I possibly can. So that looks like 200 litres to the hectare. 4 bar. A lot of pressure. I've changed the nozzles before now, so we don't get too much drift if we're using a lot of pressure to get to ours, but I've probably dropped down off that 200 litres, probably down to, probably been operating about 160 litres to the hectare before now. 2.5 bar. That's probably going to be better. So I need to have the revs at about probably 1200, because you'll only pull a certain gradient unless you have a few revs on. So you've got to set up according to every field you're going to be on it. Maybe 1200 revs. It's got enough go in the engine then to take a slope. So put the PTO to go and then set the pressure at about that 2.5 bar mark. So we're at about 2.5 bar at about 1300 revs, so just choose the right gear now to get the correct application rate. So I've got 200 litres in the tank of just plain water, so I'm going to spray that out on some grass seeds just to make sure that the calibration is correct. So I've reset the area meter to 0, so I'm going to work up and down the field now till I've done a hectare. So I'm doing about 8.6k. Everything's flashing me because it wants to do a clean exhaust clean, but I'm not going to do that until I've done this job. We've got about 2.5 bar on the pressure gauge. It's definitely probably more pressure than I'd like. The nozzles are producing quite a fine mist, but I'll have to just see how it goes. Done about 0.85 of a hectare. I'm down to the last 50 litres. And that field was 0.95 of a hectare. So I'm down to the last, what, perhaps 25-30 litres. So at that speed I put on 170 litres to the hectare, which is thereabouts. I could probably drop the pressure a little bit and get back down to, I've only got about 150.